Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. I hope your day is off to a wonderful start. Greetings again from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. What may turn out to be my last day here in the Detroit metro area. We shall see. The weather has improved quite a bit. The humidity has dropped a bit. The temperature, instead of being 90 at this time yesterday, it is 80. Hello, Vicky. How are you? Nice to see you this morning, honey. Glad you enjoyed the Henry Ford Museum yesterday. It was quite the experience. Good morning, Lee. Good morning, Andrea W. Nice to see you, honey. So, yeah, there we go. Dina Knock. Nice to see you. Good morning to you. Could very well be my last day in Michigan. I want to thank Vicky. Good morning, Kim. How you doing, darling? Nice to see you. Yeah, it was a great day yesterday. It was another epic stream. One of the best museums I've ever been to outside of the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. It was quite fascinating to see that yesterday. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but one of the things that I always had a dream of seeing was the Rouge Complex in over in Dearborn, Michigan, which is Ford country. Yeah, it was amazing to see. For me, I'm an industrial historian. I love industrial history a lot, and when you think of Detroit, you think of Ford, you think of the Model T, you think of Henry Ford. And you think of his vision of having that, building a complex that could take everything from raw coal and steel on one end and having a finished Model T or Model A come out of the other. And it was very interesting complex to stand at the places where so much labor history, so much violent labor history had occurred on the Miller Road overcross. And some of the areas was, it's stuff that fascinates me and things that I enjoy very much. And of course, the museum, to see John F. Kennedy's car that he was assassinated in, and Abraham Lincoln's assassination chair, connecting the dots to John Wilkes Booth, Baltimorean, buried in Greenmount Cemetery. And I've been to Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., so I've very much connected the dots on that. It was a quiet night for me last night. I met the doctor, was a very nice guy that hung around with Marshall last night. I had the pleasure of meeting him, a very nice gentleman, and let them go off and and do their thing. And I got a really good sleep last night. And I've been going to bed like 2 or 3 a.m. and getting up about 7, which is okay. It doesn't really bother me that much, but about 9:30 I crawled in. I don't know how many days. This is day 30 on the road. 1 month on the road officially today. 1 month, probably over 2 weeks solid of boondocking now. I forget what the inside of a hotel looks like, but it doesn't matter, you know. I mean, can get all cleaned up no matter where, and ready for my day. And I figure I've saved something on the order of about $3,000 all in on hotels. And that's money that I could put towards a little more food. Good morning, Elvis. And, you know, I'm really officially stamped as a van dweller. And more than that, as a traveler. You know, when, as you can see, when people hang around with me, they go. They see stuff. You'll never see me spending day after day after day after day sitting around a Walmart parking lot with my thumb up my butt, not doing anything at all. You know, it's not my idea. If I'm at a place, I want to get maximum advantage out of it. And you look at the way that I've covered Detroit, the way I've covered Toronto. You know, I was putting together a cinematic Detroit nightlife video, but I did not like the way it turned out. One of the reasons being, sadly, is that the roads in, signed, sealed, and delivered. One of the problems of Detroit is the roads are so bad. Yesterday, coming down, I don't know whether it was 16-mile road or whatever we were on yesterday. It was horrendous. There was a low spot there There was no drainage. There were stalled out cars. The water was about a foot deep in the area. And I just thought to myself, how very sad to see that you can't even pump out the water on this major road, this flash flooding rain that occurred yesterday. And then to try to take the cinematic video, I like to roll in on the road. I like to roll in on the highway. But the roads cause so much bumping and there's so much shaking and jarring in the camera. If I can't put a good quality together, I just don't do it. I won't do it. But I have gone back to live streaming Detroit, which has been fantastic. I just want to get every bit that I can initially out of a city. Then when I come back to Detroit, I can do more of just the boondocking, hanging out, and get down more into the food levels and things like that. It's just that the roads here, Andrea has really nice roads out her way, but when you get into the metro Detroit area, you have the concrete, and then they put the little rubberized asphalt between it, and it just boom, and it just every time it just shakes the camera. Good morning, Ginger. And it's just not worth subjecting people to that, and it wasn't really nightlife Detroit anyway. It was nightlife Ferndale down there, just south of the Royal Oak area. So I'm glad. Yeah, Red Sox, there we go. So yeah, having met the doctor, he seemed like a really nice guy. And that's the nature of it is on YouTube. Sometimes I think we tend to get into a small community as if there's nobody else that's ever engaged on the outside of the community, when in reality, 90% of the people, thank you, Tracy. Thank you very much. That's right. Thank you for not having a thumb up your butt. But figure it this way, hey, Bella Rose, the Queen of Buffalo, figure it this way. 90% of the people that show up on these chats or on these videos are people that are never going to comment. They're never going to engage in a live chat, but yet they watch and see what's going on. And they continuously reach out to us on the road to please meet us. And, they don't know anything about the boy drama. And I think sometimes it gets very frustrating to those who are very critical of the travels and the adventures and traveling with Marshall and being with him here. They get very critical and frustrated that other people show up and they're not involved in all the drama. They just want to meet us, hang out with us. I've met about 4 people so far that didn't want to be on camera, didn't want to be identified, but are happy to be on the streams and happy to be supporters. It's just a fact of life. When you're bringing content, as I've said before, it really does trump all, and people will come out of the woodwork and they will want to engage you. And one of the first things they'll tell you is, I don't get all involved in the drama. I like to meet people in person and make my own judgment about them. Thank you, Andrea, and what a pleasure it was to meet you. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the content. More and more people are coming on every day. And the people that don't like the content, good morning, Nicole, how are you, sweetheart? And the people that don't like the content or get offended, well, they don't have any excuse to be here. They have the unsub button and move on, and that's a wonderful feature on YouTube, is that you do not have to be here. And then over time, new people come in that appreciate the content, appreciate the personalities, and it becomes more of a positive mix over time. Good morning, Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Kathy Rebuilds. Yeah, thank you very much, Andrea. I'm not going to make this about Marshall. He's got to be responsible for what comes out of his mouth, but he has helped with the that first day in Detroit, coming into the rainstorm. And coming in and trying to get used to the road system. They do things differently in Detroit. The way they make left-hand turns, you don't make them at lights. I mean, it's very challenging. And then, of course, hitting, destroying the tire that I had bought on a curb, and the slight little bit of harassment, which, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. If people want to waste police resources, by all means, that's on them and not me. So I don't endorse anybody else, but having him already be here that first night was a real icebreaker for me, because quite frankly, it was very, very frustrating to me. Thank you, PG. Yeah, the museum was good. I want to be able to bring that stuff from all over the country. The people were very nice at the museum. They could have used a little more. If I was going to critique the Henry Ford, you really needed, it might have helped them to put down some type of little, little guide points along the floor or something like that, because you can find yourself, it's always good in a museum to have the overall layout with a top-down view of where certain sections are, and I'm sure that there's one at the visitor desk there, but it's very easy to get lost in there. But you're seeing some real Americana, and that didn't even scratch the surface of Greenfield, which is the American experience of villages and homes. Yeah, it's overwhelming. It's a lot to do. Good morning, Andrews. Good morning, Andrew. And good morning, Johnny West. Nice to see you. So it's very overwhelming, but it's worth making the way over there to have all of that experience. So yeah, it's been very helpful to have that initial guidance from Marshall to come into Detroit, because like I say, the first day, that first night coming in and then blowing a tire and then having to get that fixed, and then the fix failed and then back again. Yeah, the variety of things that are in there are amazing. The variety of food has been amazing. I need to say thank you to Yeah Man and Chuck for yesterday, and Yeah Man for sharing the whole Rouge experience to me. This is something that I figured the Rouge would appeal to a very tiny percentage of people on my channel, and that was probably correct. But how you doing, Cornholio? What's going on? No, I'm not selling anybody on anything. I'm not selling anything on anybody. I feel, it's that's not my thing to sell people. But having gone to the Rouge, this is what I tell. Hey, Joan Ann, this is what I tell people. Hey, Dancing Chimp. This is what I tell people is I've got to do the things when I travel that I really want to see as my top priority. So, I really wanted to see that complex because I've studied the history of the Ford Motor Company and the history of that factory. Good morning, Jasmine. How are you? Just got back from vacation. I hope that you had a good one. 1 month for me on the road. I've not talked any about the van dwelling experience over this time. I want to do a video of the functionality. I want to do an overview of the van. I still have that to come up, and that do. Yeah, man. He got involved with some of the controversy on the the channels with Dave, but you saw the real Yeah Man yesterday. He's a very, the word I like to use is lugubrious. He's a very, he's like a Rosie on steroids, right? Everything is like, wow, everything is like the wow factor with he's like a big teddy bear. Good morning, Sister Earth. Yeah, I'll get into the haunted challenge in a minute. Good morning, WDF. I hope you're doing good. And yeah, it's it's very fun. He's he's just a really happy guy. Let's see, Tracy, I'm in Masters. You ever here? Would like to meet you. Dave is Becca's a Ledley shagging stickers is all a mess. Yeah, I've gotten messages like crazy. Check this out, check that. Please do a video on your thoughts on that. And to me, it's how can we really know? The whole Dave and Becca and stickers thing is like, no matter which way you come down, you might get egg on your face. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's a private matter. I hate to get into affairs of the heart. If it's truthful, If it's a bunch of BS, then it's par for the course. But I don't, how can I weigh in on that? I'm so happy to be on the. I'm so happy to be on the road. Kool-Aid Jimmy. Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't think he was jealous. He likes to take things at a much slower pace. I like to like the furniture stuff. There's people at the Henry Ford Museum that spent that literally spent an hour in the furniture section looking at some of the craftsmanship of the Windsor chairs, the Queen Anne furniture, all the shaker furniture. That's their thing. To me, Marshall was like, I find the steam engines, I find the generators, I find the the locomotives and stuff kind of boring, and that's fine. Everybody has their cup of tea. See, I don't go into the Star Wars area. I find that stuff. I mean, sad to say, don't hate me, I find science fiction very boring, except Space Girl from Planet XXX, right? I mean, that puts a little spice in space, right? But anyway, I've never seen a Harry Potter movie. I've never seen a Star Wars movie, and whatever the hell the other big space John. I've never seen any of those movies. It's just, Flash Gordon. That's the kind of thing I like, the more adult-rated stuff. So Star Wars, I don't know what to be, Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek. I never saw any of those. I know I'm a disgrace. I'm an absolute disgrace. But talk to me about classic Hollywood movies of the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and then you're right in my wheelhouse for things that I enjoy. She knows I'm a disgrace. But people were piled into that section, and it's good. It's what makes the world go round. Imagine if we liked all the old stuff, how boring life would be. How boring life. As I talk to you now, it's 80 degrees. We had some thunderstorms here. I've not seen a clear sky in Detroit yet. I'm hoping the humidity's still pretty high. But it was very comfortable last night. I've slept comfortably in the van. I designed this thing for sleeping, because that's basically all I do in it, is sleep in it. Otherwise, I like to be on the go. So I have a lot of padding down there. I got my own little fatty shelf on there, which is padding. I've got absolute total stealth. And all I care about is parking this van and having the stealth factor to it, which is a great thing. I park this thing, I button it down for the night, and I don't care whether I can be in the middle of anywhere, man. I don't have to every night be on a Walmart parking lot and all that. The van has been really good. Oh, it might be raising the temp. That's funny, so. So that's it. Yeah, man was outstanding yesterday with his time, like I say, to go around the Rouge complex to see the Ford F-150 factory, which he told me is the franchise for Ford. It funds all the other operations. But to go around Dearborn and see all of the tremendous Ford experimental location, the batteries, the design centers, the engineering centers, the transmission centers, was amazing. What's going on, Joey D? Mike Loyal, what's on the menu today? I have a haunted challenge from the state of Texas. My good friend Sandy down there, what I call the Eyes of Texas down there. And Michigan has some renowned haunted places. And today, I'm hoping at 5 p.m. today to go explore one of those famous haunted places. That's going to be tremendous. Cornholio, I did not go through the assembly line. This is not a place that I can go inside of, but it's a place that I can walk around on the outside. As far as I know, it's fenced in, and to walk around and do, I have specific things that I need to do in this challenge to talk about the history of the place and to talk about some of the spooky features of it and some of the horror stories that are renowned to be out of there. Okay, so I think it's going to be multiple. I think it's going to be multiple locations. Yeah, this is the Texas Sandy Challenge today. I'll be with you in a little bit. I just want to finish this hangout. I got to cover this challenge today. So, all right. How long are you in Detroit? I think I'm going to be shoving off maybe tonight or tomorrow, weather dependent. Here it's a lot more comfortable now than it was. So I have very specific things that I need to do on this challenge. So expect that about 5 p.m. today. I'd like it to get a little more towards dark, but being north here, it doesn't get dark till 9:30 at night. Well, you were firm, then I lost. Yeah. Well, I figure I don't need him on every stream. I didn't get an invite to go out with the doctor last night and hang with him, so I don't feel bad about that. So I'm like I say, I do my own things here. I'm going on to Chicago after here. Yeah, the spooky stuff, and there's one other bonus place. I might try to give them a bonus today on this too, so kind of pay it back. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I've actually done some of my own stuff here too, so it will be on to Chicago. I have promised to build that generator box for the back, which is fine. I like the challenge of doing that kind of work. And then back to the Rancho. And then I want to set up a streaming house for Southern California in San Diego. I think that I would like to go down there for about a month, be in one location and explore and have a lot of fun, go back and forth, LA, all of these other areas, and do that. It's wild to think you're going back. Yeah, it's been 30 days on the road, 30 days on the road, but I'm going to be there for about 2 weeks or so and then set up. Mr. Z, how are you? Yeah, the slabs. I can't, is that slabs the person in here? There's slabs. But anyway, I can't do slab cities till fall or winter there. I don't want to. I've roasted myself so many nights in this van with that AC, and of course I have all the windows up for the stealth aspect of it. Which is cool. One word to describe your amazing trip would be fulfilling to me, because I'm seeing this Great Lakes history. Of course, I want to get back to Cleveland and Toledo and do those cities too. I'd like to explore Akron, some of the more gritty cities, and really get a feel. I'm not one for top level. What would you guys say? I'm not one for top level tourism. Like Henry Ford, you got to do. But you see, I was over on Livernois Avenue and St. John's Road over there in the worst sections of I'm interested in seeing the totality of the whole place, and that's what I really enjoy. I really enjoy doing that. So fulfilling would be it. Ladies and gentlemen at the round table, nice to see you. So that's Slate. Yeah, I would say amazing and fulfilling if I had to pick 2 words. And also the sheer number of people I've met along the way, half of which are wonderful supporters of the channel, but they don't want to be involved in side chats. They don't want to be involved in commenting on videos, but they do reach out and tell you how much they love the content, and that they're so happy I'm on the road and doing my own thing. Like I said before, you get into the world of Boyd and you tend to think that you're able to control everything and the way people think and feel on the Boyd, but yet it's a small little circle within a gigantic solar system of other people that are watching the channel, and they make the decision why be involved in. Why make myself a target on that? But I'd love to meet you, love to support you, love to buy you a meal, and that's been great stuff. I love that. Going through anywhere Texas. I will not be going through South Dakota or Texas. I want to save the upper Great Plains, the western upper Great Plains for a separate swing, and I want to save Texas and Louisiana for a swing. Yeah, it's nice to see. Yeah, Tim Star. Yeah, it's nice to see Kathy Rebuilds in the chat. So yeah, New England is a whole separate. New England's is whole separate deal. New Orleans, Lindsay, New Orleans and Baton Rouge, and Texas is going to be phenomenal. 4:28 p.m. Going to Farmington for kebabs. Maybe we see you. Oh, okay. All right, well, have a good time. Uber Goober and Port Orchard, absolutely. Yep. And I appreciate the people. You know, you may not be happy over the next month or so, but you know the focus should be on me and not, you know, let Elvis, when he's on his channel, let the focus be on him, because as I've said repeatedly, I don't tolerate a lot of crap on my stream from people that are guests on my stream. I never will. You know, if you can't be positive, you know, on the stream, then forget about it. Don't be on it. So. Yeah, the food is good and cheap here. Are you missing your cooking? Not really. I don't eat a lot of food on the road, but when I do sit down to eat, I'm a quick eater, as Yeah Man found out last night. But basically, one meal a day is good. I miss being on the rancho. I miss, you know, doing the baking and all that kind of stuff. I miss the sun. I need to get out in the sun and get my tan going again, to get some stuff up on the Rosie McNamara channel. I will be checking in with D when I leave Chicago. You know, he will have a shot, if he cares to, then to get a ride back. Otherwise, I'm heading into Santa Rosa to do my thing. I got about 2 more weeks of all of my vitamins and all of my hormones and all that stuff with me, so I'm good for 2 more weeks before I turn into a beast. Bye, Jeff. Never keep over at dinner. I'm always last to finish. Yeah, I eat to live. I don't live to eat. So when I eat, I'm done, and that's it. So. Yeah, man's like, holy hell. Hey, Mel, how are you? How are you? Yeah, and I want to say once again, thank you to Mike and Crystal Loyal for all of their suggestions. They made the way easier for me to get into Canada by suggesting some smoother alternatives, which worked out well. They've given tips on Detroit and all that. So I'm very, very grateful for their friendship and their fact they're able to separate me from Marshall and all that. So I've always liked Crystal and Mike. You know, they'll come and go varying on some of the bullshit that's going on my channel, but they're, at the end of the day, they're good people, you know, and that's the bottom line. They care, they're able to segregate, and they're able to kindly give good suggestions on, you know, I've gotten suggestions on places to eat and places to go. I've done some independent touring that I've not put on video here. And thanks to some of the things that they have decided. I hope that if you come through South Dakota, we can meet up. I'm looking forward to going up to Pierre, South Dakota. I know I said it right. Most people call it Pierre, South Dakota. I would, of course, you got to go to Mount Rushmore, but I'd like to see Mitchell, the Mitchell Corn Palace. There's a lot of things I want to do. I want to hang out in Fargo. I want to go up to Alaska. I want to go to Hawaii too, and I want to go back to Asia. I'd like to go back to Asia and do that. So that could be a lot of that could be a blast too. Yeah, they're very kind people. Andrea was wonderful to me. Andrea W. You know, some people want to try to twist the script and say, "Isn't it funny since you know, since Lady T and Andrea W met Rosie and Elvis, that they're not on the chat." Andrea W's always on my chat stream, and Lady T has a very busy family life, and she's on the chat too. Don't believe a lot of the bull BS that people feed you. Yeah, it's all good in the hood, Mike, and I have to tell you, the longer I stay in Detroit, the more I'm enjoying it. The people have been great. The food scene has been good. My only issue with Detroit is the roads here. But then again, it's like Baltimore. It's a city that's on the edge of financial. Well, in the case of Detroit, it's gone over the edge. But it's a ruinous city. But it doesn't make it any less exciting to explore. But I'll tell you, I feel like my brains have been, my brain gets rattled here. So, oh, they're here all the time, Ginger. It's just like people want to try to shape a story they wish that was true, as opposed to the reality of the way it is. It's like people said, you've lost, Rosie's changed. She's lost friends from the past. BS. Boy, it used to be so good before Rosie and Elvis wrecked it. These people are they're whistling into the wind, I mean, it's unbelievable. The very people that say that are the people that wrecked the boy back in 2015 and destroyed it with their lack of ambition, their stupidity, and their outright greed. They're the ones that wrecked it, but they'll try to shape the story to somebody that's actually out there on the road bringing content on the daily that they can't hope to match, but they'll still criticize as if it's destructive to the boy when they're the ones that sit in chat rooms and dish out crap and hate on people and try to stir up hatred. It's also very funny to me. But okay, who says Nathan, you have a good day. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, conflict and drama, but they shape the story, but it has no effect on me, because the people continue to come to the channel. They continue. Why would you want to sit around and just watch a talking heads? And some of these people I enjoy. I don't have anything against them, but when you have somebody that's out there on the streets in cities that you may not ever want to go to, that's bringing you real honest to God content, people want to watch it, and you cannot control what people do. Museum stuff and history stuff. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Nicole. A lot of the history of I'll be in Chicago for probably a week or so, and using maybe the nights to explore and things like that. I'm very interested in the gang history of Chicago, and some of the little known things about Chicago. Yeah, my visit to Detroit has changed. Army mom Julie, Rosie's like the mom that ignores the child having a tantrum, because the child having the tantrum isn't adding anything to YouTube. They're a derivative thing. People that bring content are primary, and people that criticize the commentary are derivative of that. Doesn't mean it's not fun and good, but I mean, original content will always trump everything on YouTube. Because why would people deny themselves that ability to see the Ford Museum, or the ability to see the Rouge Complex, or to go around the hoods of Detroit? Andrea W. would love to, but she's got to be very careful health-wise. And the like Mike and Crystal Loyal, they have lives here. They live here. They're not people to go out and go into hoods and stuff like that. They have a very nice life here. They take their YouTube on the time they want. So there's very few people that are out really bringing that Detroit experience right now, and that's good. Get to Detroit, I would go to that museum. Yeah, because I'm sci-fi phobic. The best 2150 that Yeah Man ever spent. It was a tremendous value for what you see. You could do a factory tour. You could do that. You could tour Greenfield. They have a 5-part ticket. I don't know what it is. I started having a little lung thing because of the moisture and humidity. You can see the museum, which I did. You can go to the village, the factory tour, and they have a giant screen experience too. You can purchase like a $90 package. Yeah Man works for Ford, so he got 10% off of off of the visit, which was great. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just anytime the weather changes a little bit, I feel fantastic today. When you get a high humidity and the temperature drops and it's raining, you got to be very careful. That's why I stopped last night when we left the museum. It was pouring rain. But first thing I did when I got to the restaurant last night with Yeah Man, Chuck, and Marshall was to get my sweatshirt out of the van and put that on, because you can't walk in out of the cold, out of the pouring rain and the humidity into an air-conditioned restaurant, and you're at real risk. So you got to preserve you got to transition that temperature. So I popped my sweatshirt on. I was very comfortable, and then I came out and I took the sweatshirt off and moved on. So, but it's very high humidity. Remember, I've had years of living in the West with dry climates. So I don't have a boyfriend. I got girlfriends. So I do have boys that are friends, but I'm looking for, I'm always on the lookout for girlfriends. Museum of Science and Industry is the bomb. Downtown core Detroit is the bomb down there. The Coney Island dogs are the bomb. Ted's Hot Dogs in Buffalo, New York are the bomb. The wing place up there, I can't remember, the Duff's Wings is the bomb. I've had so many food experiences, it's been fantastic. Meet your bud, Rich. I hear that, Mike Loyal. We'll make that through for the next time that I come through, because next time I come up, I'll spend weeks up here and just get more of the experience. I want to. Some people are mad I don't go out to the countryside. Rosie, I unsubbed you because you won't go to campgrounds. You won't go outside and start a campfire and do camp cooking and live in a tent. It's not my thing. I did a lot of that stuff when I was younger. I want to go to big cities, urban areas, do the urban exploring, the urban boondocking and van dwelling, because there's so much to see in these places. And the country's good, but if I'm out in the countryside, what was that? Oh, I'm getting the hell out of here. In other words, I'd be more comfortable parking over there on Livernois Avenue, on the main drag through Livernois Avenue, than I would be in a tent out in the country somewhere. Yeah, I'm a city girl through and through and through and through and through. But I'll tell you, this van has done fantastic with me. 5,200 miles so far. I feel like I would be the first person abducted by turned into a werewolf. Yeah, I'd be the first one at something weird, missing California resident. And the boy would be like, "Yay, our dream came true, yay." You snatched away. At least let me get into my space girl from Planet XXX. I miss my teeny weeny bikini so bad. It's been 1 month, and Nicole's out there. Thank God, she's been covered up for a month. I don't have to worry about those tits hanging out in that arse. It is a beautiful day in Detroit today. The temperature is gonna be more manageable. Yeah, I do miss that. I do miss I need a girlfriend for that. You have to understand, white panel van, and that is complete stuff. Yeah, there's but I found out it's pretty good because of the size of it, Mike. The size of it is smaller. If it was like a bigger transit van or a bigger Ram van, but this thing is so small that it just looks like a plumber or electrician. Nobody could ever imagine, and I sit my clipboard up front. I put my paperwork on that. I leave that, and it just looks like somebody on a job. I need love. I need love. Probably not getting enough estrogen or whatever, the testosterone, you're aging back. Yeah, I got you, Mike. It's a problem in Illinois. It's a problem in Missouri. I've been stopped in Nebraska. I've been stopped in Illinois. I've been stopped here 2 times. Had a cop meet up the first night. We had the Henry Ford Museum with the Dearborn police coming, which I could care less about. For me, it's 5 minutes. Give them the stuff they want, and you're done. That's it. You know, if people want to waste police resources, well, you can hold them up as great people, that they're doing a wonderful thing for the community, but they're actually doing a worse thing by wasting police time and effort in a city that's very stressed with crime and everything else. Yeah, tour of cop encounter. I'm going to call this the Great Lakes Tour 2020. But Mike Loyal, I have valued all the advice that you and Crystal have given me. It certainly made my time in Detroit easier. It is very nice today, and I'm looking forward to about 5 p.m. my time today. I should be down for the Texas Challenge. Make sure that you stay tuned on that, and then it's if the weather continues to nicen, I may stay one more day. You know, basically I'm good for 2 more weeks if I need to be here, and then it's like turning into a werewolf. Yeah, it's bikini time. You got to stay cool. That's oh, you guys are funny. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down today. A big day today. Yeah, thank you for the support. Been a lot of wonderful people that have been tipping a cup of coffee here, or a donut here or there, or even a dinner and things like that. Never required taxes on this channel. You'll never hear me come on here and say anything about pay your taxes, or but if people feel inclined to, and they, you know, I am bringing content. The people that complain about people that getting tips are generally people that are not giving content at all. So yeah, why should you tip somebody just because they sit in mom's garage and demand that you show some love? Why would you ever waste your time with that? I reward people in life, like most of you probably do, that actually get out and do something and bring an experience that you sit there and think to yourself, you know what? That was really cool. Thanks for taking the time and energy to go out there. Even though you were going to do it anyway, I really enjoyed it. With that, I'm going to go off the channel. Taxes never collected here, but your patronage and your watching has been fantastic on this trip, and I appreciate it very, very much. Sammy, how you doing, baby doll? Meet you at the 7-Eleven. Y'all have a wonderful day, okay? Mwah.